You just landed in the one place where the numbers don't lie. Most financial advice is written for the system, not for you. I'm Victor, and this is the Money Script. Most people get a raise, and 6 months later, they have nothing to show for it. Not because they blew it on vacations, because nobody told them what to do with it in the first 48 hours. That window is the difference between building wealth and funding someone else's. Last episode, we showed you the trap. How the system is designed to capture every dollar you earn. 2 incomes, same lifestyle, 0 margin. If you haven't seen it, watch it first. Because what I'm about to show you only works if you understand what you're escaping from. Today is different. Today we talk about where the money actually goes, on purpose. The second income is deployment capital, and there are exactly 3 places it should go. Most people use 0 of them. The ones who use even 1, they're in a completely different financial position 5 years from now. By the end of this episode, you'll have a framework you can use this week. Not theory, not motivation. A decision sequence with actual numbers. I'm Victor. This is the Money Script. Let's get into it. Most people treat the second income like a bonus. Something extra. Something that finally lets them breathe. And within 3 months, it's gone. Not wasted. Absorbed. By lifestyle expansion that feels invisible until you look at the bank account and realize nothing changed. There's a window. A deployment window. It opens the moment the second income arrives, and it closes fast. Because here's what happens. Lifestyle expands to fill available income. Always. It's not greed. It's human nature meeting market design. Stop. Think about what that actually means. You had the window, and the system closed it before you made a decision. That's not bad luck. That's the design. The deployment window is 48 hours. Maybe less. Because the moment new money hits your account, your brain starts spending it. Not consciously. You just start feeling more comfortable. The nicer restaurant, the upgrade, the subscription. Small decisions that add up to 0 deployment. So the first rule, decide before the money arrives. Write down where $1,500 goes. Lock it in. Because if you don't have a plan, the system has one. And the system's plan is a lifestyle absorption. Here's the reframe that changes everything about how you look at your mortgage. Let's start with option 1, the mortgage. And I need you to forget everything you've been told about mortgages for the next 8 minutes. Because the conventional wisdom, pay it off slowly, keep the tax deduction, invest the difference. That advice was written for a different interest rate environment. We're not in that environment anymore. At 7%, the math flips. Here's the baseline. $400,000 mortgage. 7% fixed rate. 30 years. Your monthly payment is $26.61. Sounds manageable. But here's what they don't show you. You're going to pay $558,000 in interest alone. That's not a house. That's an interest factory. In the first 10 years, you're mostly feeding the bank. In year 1, out of your $26.61 monthly payment, only about $600 goes to principal. The rest, pure interest. Now watch what happens when you throw $1,500 extra at principal every month. Same mortgage, same rate. But you add $1,500 on top of your payment. You don't just shave off a few years. You cut the loan from 30 years to 11 years. And you save $370,000 in interest. Let me say that again. $1,500 a month for 11 years buys you freedom from a payment for the next 19 years. That's the reframe. You're not paying off a house. You're buying back your calendar. People love saying, but I could invest that $1,500 and earn more. Okay, show me the math. To beat a 7% guaranteed return, after tax, with 0 risk, you need the stock market to deliver consistently. And that assumes you actually invested. And don't panic sell when it drops. The mortgage paydown is a forced savings account that can't be touched, can't be panicked out of, and compounds silently in the background. And here's the kicker. Once it's paid off, that $26.61 monthly payment disappears. Now you have that cash flow to deploy elsewhere. This isn't about being debt-free for moral reasons. This is about creating optionality, because a household with no mortgage payment can survive on one income. That's not a lifestyle choice. That's a risk profile. That's the difference between fragile and resilient. Now, does this work for everyone? No. If your rate is under 4%, keep the cheap debt and invest instead. But at 7%, the math is clear. This is option 1. Use deployment capital to compress the payment timeline and buy back your freedom. So that's the mortgage play. Not sexy, not exciting, but mathematically brutal. $1,500 a month for 11 years buys you a lifetime of no payment. Now, option 2. And this is where it gets interesting. This next part is the one most financial advisors won't say out loud. Not because it's wrong, because it makes their model look broken. Option 2, Bitcoin. And before you roll your eyes, I'm not here to sell you on Bitcoin. I'm here to show you the math. Because whether you like it or not, Bitcoin has outperformed every traditional asset class over the past decade. And ignoring that because it makes you uncomfortable is not a strategy. It's just emotion masquerading as prudence. Rule 1. This is not your foundation. This is not rent money. This is not emergency fund money. This is deployment capital. That means sized so you can survive volatility. Small enough that if it goes to 0 tomorrow, your life doesn't change. Here's the simplest discipline. Pick a percentage. 3%, 5%, 10% max. And stick to it. For our baseline, $1,500 a month deployment. 5% would be $75 a month into Bitcoin. That's it. No revenge trading. No panic selling. No all in when it pumps. No M out when it dumps. Just consistent, boring, disciplined allocation. Month after month. Year after year. If this stresses you out, good. That's a sign your allocation is too big. Your nervous system is part of your portfolio. You should be able to watch it drop 50% and not lose sleep. If you can't, you're overexposed. Option 2 is a satellite position. The core is still boring. S&P 500, NASDAQ, index funds. That's the engine. Bitcoin is the asymmetry bet. Small downside, potentially large upside, controlled exposure. That's option 2. Now the framework. Here's the sequence. 4 steps. In order. Don't skip ahead. The order is the entire point. So here's the framework. Where does the money actually go? 4 steps. In order. Step 1. Cash buffer. This is your anti-panic fund. 3 to 6 months of fixed costs. Liquid. Accessible. For our baseline household, earning $10,000 a month. That's $30,000 to $60,000 in a high-yield savings account. Because if you don't have buffer, you'll sell your investments at the worst moment. The buffer is what lets you be strategic instead of desperate. This is step 1 because without it, everything else is fragile. Step 2, eliminate toxic debt. Anything high interest. Credit cards, personal loans, car loans above 6%. You can't out-invest a leak. If you're paying 18% on a credit card, paying that off is your best investment. Step 3 is deployment. This is where the second income goes, on purpose. 3 destinations. Reduce the payment stream, control the symmetry, or build the boring core. For our baseline, $1,500 a month could be all mortgage, or it could be split. $1,200 mortgage, $75 Bitcoin, $225 index. The exact split depends on your risk tolerance and timeline. But the principle is the same. Deployment is intentional. Index is the engine. S&P 500 or NASDAQ. Simple, consistent, automated. This is where most wealth is actually built. Not from timing, not from stock picking. From consistent monthly investment over decades. Your job isn't to be smart. Your job is to be consistent. Dollar cost averaging. Month after month. No timing. No panic. Set it. Automate it. Forget it. That's how index investing actually works. Step 4 is lifestyle. Last, not first. Because lifestyle is where the system steals your window. Earn the upgrade. Don't finance the upgrade. Wait until steps 1 through 3 are running automatically. This is the whole game. Cash buffer, toxic debt, deployment, lifestyle. That sequence protects the 48-hour window. The order is not negotiable. Skip a step, and the system wins. Your assignment: write your 48-hour plan. Where does the new money go before your brain spends it? Buffer first, debt second, deployment third, lifestyle last. Write it down. Lock it in. If you don't decide in 48 hours, the system decides in 48 days. And the system's plan is absorption. The deployment window is real, the trap is real, but the exit is also real. The trap isn't your fault, but the exit is your responsibility. If this was valuable to you, like and subscribe for more. M. Victor. This is the Money Script. See you next episode.